Today let's talk about the Galaxy A06, a compact and affordable device. It costs around $105, and depending on the promotions, it can go for as low as $95. Although it's an entry-level model, it has some interesting features like a 6.7-inch display. The resolution is only HD, which is a bit disappointing, but considering the price, it's a good option. The chipset is enough for daily tasks, and the main camera is 50 megapixels. For the price Samsung is asking, sometimes even less than $100, the device delivers what it promises. The battery is 5,000 milliamp hours, which is great for everyday use. Let's take a closer look. Starting with the build, the back is entirely plastic with a textured finish. I like this texture, it gives the device a more interesting look. There are two cameras, the main one being 50 megapixels and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, so basically, only the main one is useful. On the front we have the 6.7-inch screen, which is great for watching content and playing simpler games. It's a big screen, with plenty of space for navigation, which is nice. On the sides we find the volume buttons and the fingerprint sensor on the power button. It can be a bit slow, but when the screen is on it's faster. On the bottom, we have the headphone jack, USB-C port and audio output. The only flaw is that it doesn't have stereo sound, it's mono, which is expected in this type of device. The model I'm testing has 4 GB of RAM and a Helio G85 processor, which is an older entry-level chip. On Antutu, it scores around 270,000 points, which is more than enough for basic use, social media, and videos. It can run games, but don't expect too much. If you're looking for a bit more performance, there's a version with 6 GB of RAM, but it's harder to find. The device comes with one UI and will receive 2 Android updates, which is a bit less than other Galaxy A models that receive 5 or 6. The front camera has 8 megapixels, which is basic, but it records in full HD at 30 frames per second, which is good. Samsung always includes the option to adjust the camera angle, which is very practical. The rear camera records in full HD at 60 frames per second, providing smoother footage. The digital zoom goes up to 10 times, and the quality is acceptable for what it is. Talking about the battery, the 5,000 mAh battery lasts all day without problems, depending on your usage. The older processor consumes a bit more battery, but it supports 25-watt fast charging, though the 25-watt charger isn't included in the box, just a 15-watt charger. Now about the screen, it's good for watching content. The screen is LCD, so the colors are balanced, but the blacks aren't as deep as on AMOLED screens. The brightness is decent, and the mono sound is balanced, but to improve it, you can use Bluetooth headphones. In very bright environments, the screen might struggle, but considering the price, Samsung delivers well. If your main use is social media and videos, and you don't need much multitasking, the device performs well. And what about gaming? In Call of Duty, the graphics were on low, but I set them to medium and the performance was good. Of course, for heavier games like Genshin Impact, this is not the ideal phone, but Call of Duty ran fairly well. Let's now test the cameras, as always. The recording is in 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is interesting, as the A16 model doesn't have this feature. Let's see how it handles exposure, both indoors and outdoors. Without an ultra-wide lens, the stabilization is basic, but the 2x and 10x zoom are acceptable. Overall, for a $100 device, I think it delivers quite a lot.